Hey there, Munchie Mafia. Welcome and happy Christmas. We've just got a few days left before the holiday starts. So we're going to do a double feature. First, we're going to make some peanut butter fudge, and then we're going to be making fish and chips from scratch. This is nearly gluten-free. The only reason why it's not completely gluten-free is because it does have beer in it. It has regular beer and not gluten-free beer. But nonetheless, I will explain how to do this completely gluten-free for those that do require gluten-free meals. So let's get to it.
There is a cozy little kitchen in a century years old farmhouse deep in the shadows of Mount Rainier. The kitchen which weaves a little magic over her cast iron pot upon her stove. She whispers her spell into the universe as her pot bubbles over, spilling the brew. This is where the Munchie Mafia meets. On YouTube every Sunday night for an hour of magic, mischief, and whimsy, cooking up food to soothe the restless soul. Go get yourself a drink, get some tasty snacks. There is still time to go party as we get this stream started. Townspeople think Stevie is a little strange, a bit spooky and a whole lot of crazy. But she pays no mind to the subdued whispers as she passes by with her ginger familiar following close behind. A little dash of love here, a tiny pinch of passion there, with a stirry stir of the wooden spoon. She mixes flavors that delights the soul. Like and subscribe to Munchie Mafia official and gently quandle that little bell icon. You may or may not receive notifications. YouTube features are so bipolar. Oh, whiskey whiz of mystery, the stirry stir of mischief, a bakey bake of whimsy, and some laughy laughs. Maybe CB won't be late this time. Who the hell are we kidding? A shaky shake of the magic 8-ball says that's unlikely. She will even be terribly late for her own funeral too. With a flick of CB's wrist and a wave of a mystical wooden spoon, the magic begins to brew. Oh, wishy whisk of mystery, a stirry stir of mischief, a bakey cake of whimsy, and some laughy laughs. So let's brew some magic together. Don't forget you always cook with love and always eat with caution. We aren't born with an extended warranty, and tomorrow never comes with a money back guarantee. Oh.
Hello. So, who do we have in the chat tonight? We have Peaceful Des, Outdoors with Big Matt, Damoose, Desert Livin', who is our show up for shout out feature for the evening, so you got to stay to the end. Um, we also have Mama Ophia and Damoose, Teresa Castro, Ace Howdy, Howdy, Tiffany with Canadian Family Life, Chilling with David B. Hello, David, and hello, Pam. And let's see here. We got Belt Loop 29 and Greg Johnson and Timmy, of course. He has to be here. Against his own will, even some days. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Tuber Chat. Hello, Kevin. And we've got Bulldogs is also here, and Beverly Moffat. Simon with Yes I Can Barbecue. Got 17 people in the chat, so this could take a bit. Katie's in the kitchen, and Whistle Stop Homestead. So I think I got through the whole list. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I left my glasses in the car and I've come too far. So the question was, will she be able to pull it off, being able to do a double feature? So we're going to shaky shake the Magic 8 Ball and see what it says. You may rely on it, it says. Okay, so it's all good. Okay, first off, we need parchment paper, and there's a little trick to parchment paper because, as you can see, it wants to roll up on itself, right? We're going to see just where we need to cut this for this 8x8 pan, 9x9 pan. I don't know. That's probably enough right there. Ta-da! Okay. Put that up there. Okay, so as you can see, as soon as you put it down in the pan, it's not really going to stay there, is it? It's going to wrinkle up on you. So, let's move this out of the way. Maybe switch to the upstairs camera. You could fold it and then fold it again, but, you know, as usual, whenever something is, you know, rolled up into a roll, it just doesn't want to cooperate with you. So, go in and kind of force it into a shape. In a roll, I guess, is considered a shape. So there you have that. Right now it wants to pop back out. Take a little bit of pan spray and spray the bottom of the pan and partly up the sides. You can then put your stuff in there and it will actually stick better. You can also use foil for fudge. It's entirely up to you. There. Problem solved. At least temporarily. All right. So first we're going to take 2/3 of a cup of evaporated milk. Where's my can opener? There it is. Kind of move things around a little bit. Shake well, as it says on the top of the lid. Shaky shake. But what do you do with the rest of it? Well, you know, you could always make tres leches cake. 2/3 of a cup. 2/3? Yes, 2/3. Piece of the wrapper from the can. Okay, 2/3 of a cup of that. Put it right in there, just like so. They just don't make condensed sweet or evaporated milk in smaller cans. I don't know why. All right. Now we're going to need 3 cups of sugar. There's my cup. 3 cups of sugar. Now, all right, stop. What?
Rufus is eating his dinner.
Well, get out of her dinner, Rufus. Oh, stop. Stop. 2. Oh, God. Now the pterodactyl's going off. 3 cups of sugar. Yeah, get out of her dinner. Sorry about that, guys. No, it's not the same as condensed milk. Condensed milk is a lot thicker. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we are going to add a half cup of butter, which is 1 full stick, 8 tablespoons, or 4 ounces. And we're going to add that to it. Okay? Simple enough? Maybe, maybe not. Now we're going to put this on the stove. And we're going to get this to a boil. Save my little plastic baggie for my little bits of debris here and there. Now, one thing that you're going to want to do is get the sugar mixed together with the evaporated milk. I was on another live earlier. I think it was Sleeper Barbecues. They were talking about divinity and whether or not divinity is considered a fudge. And no, it's not really. And it's basically a lot like meringue, except for that the sugars. I answered that one. No, it's not the same. Not the same at all. A lot thicker. Lots and lots thicker. And hello, Eastwind Farms. So anyway, back to the divinity. Divinity is basically just chalky marshmallow, and it's basically it's the same principle as marshmallow. It's just that the sugar is cooked to a hardball stage, which is a crack stage. So what you do is you keep a cup of ice water handy, and you take a little bit of the sugar and you drop it directly into the water. And if it turns into a soft ball where it's kind of spongy, kind of looks like a disc, then that's softball stage. Hardball stage will, it will have this body to it and be like a hard candy of sorts. And making candy is a little bit of a science, because divinity is a great example. If you have high humidity, it's not going to work out for you. It's going to turn into chalk. That's why I say it's chalky marshmallow. A lot of the times we can't even pull that off here. This, we have some pretty decent humidity here. Okay, butter has not melted yet, but we've got everything thoroughly combined. And we're just going to let it do its thing for a few moments and wait until it gets to a boil. So I'm going to just check in with the chat. How is everybody tonight? Everybody ready for the holiday? While that's doing its thing, I'm going to set this in the back. The other ingredients that we're going to want for this is going to be a whole 7 ounce of marshmallow cream. This is the Kroger brand because they didn't have the other stuff, the name brand, but it doesn't really matter. And then we're also going to need peanut butter, and that's going to be 1 2/3 cups of peanut butter, just like so. And if you have a hand mixer, should the butter be room temperature to melt quicker? Huh?
Peanut butter.
Oh, the peanut butter? Should the peanut butter be? Yes. It should be room temperature. There's kind of this whole thing with, do you keep your peanut butter in the refrigerator or do you not keep your peanut butter in the refrigerator? Back when I was growing up, our peanut butter was kept in the refrigerator and I hated it. I hated peanut butter because of it for the longest time, because I don't know why this is so dusty. Anyway, need a hand mixer. This one's a Mueller, and it's German made. It's great. Yeah, keep your peanut butter out of the refrigerator, because when you go to spread it on bread, it's like it's just gonna. There's a whole lot of hatred involved when trying to spread it. Oh, and before you plug it in, make sure it is completely at off or 0, or else it's going to scurry across the table. And if it does, move out of the way. Don't try to catch it with your hand, because you could end up getting your fingers caught in these little things, and that will screw up your day. Hey, Mishy, welcome. Oh, Ed, my mother used to keep it in the refrigerator because she thoroughly convinced that everybody was going to get sick from food poisoning from peanut butter. Yes, it's possible that your peanut butter could have listeria or salmonella. But usually that's like a fault at the factory. So here we have that. Yeah, great moms turn them off first. That's right, Kitty. Although I was never allowed to lick the beaters. There was no fun to be had in my house when I was growing up. Unless it involved going fishing with my dad. But that's a whole other story for another day. So, Off Topic Squirrel has released the new episode, part 2 of the pilot. There's another one coming. It's going to take a little while for me to get it all set up. With the way that things are going with the holiday, it's going to take a little while. It probably won't happen for a couple weeks, but I'm trying to be on a schedule of every 2 weeks, but having to sort through all the art that I've got stored on my computer and trying to lay it all out and getting everything all laid out and writing song and all that other happy hogwash and fixing some of the graphics, because it's blatantly obvious that I worked on this like 6 months ago, and then 2 months ago I worked on this one, and a year ago I worked on this piece, and I'm not that great either, for that matter. So anyhow, part 2 is up. Went up just a couple hours ago. So I hope you all watch it. That's at Off Topic Squirrel. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making fish and chips. We're going to use fresh potato. I've got a deep fryer. Okay, so now we're going to pop back over here. We got boiling. So now we're going to reduce it down and just let it do its thing and simmer for about 5 minutes or so. But let's pop back over to the top screen here. Oh, we are already on the top screen. So we see it's making all sorts of bubbling. And this is going to be like a one-pot wonder. Oh, my knife. My knife is a Dell Strong, and it's the Beetlejuice edition, made by Dell Strong. I love this knife. It's etched with Michael Keaton, sandworms, bats. All right. The other side's got Beetlejuice, and it's got bugs, and it's got the stripes on it. I'm not sure if Dell Strong still has this one going. I know that they just restocked on the pizza cutter, but let's be realistic here. I'm not going to spend $165 on a pizza cutter. All right.
Anyway, leave them alone.
Man, everybody's just out to get poor Rufus today. There's just no love for Rufus. All right. Say it 3 times. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. And watch, my ceiling's going to collapse. Sandworm comes flying through. Hey, Tiger. Yeah, I love spending your money, along with all those pajamagram onesies too. Oh man. Yeah, I forced him at gunpoint to get those knives, but they're nice knives. Of course, I think poor Tiger prefers God, what is that other brand? I think he prefers the other brand more. Um, I'll remember the name at 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey there, Tiger. So, anyway, this stuff is a pain in the posterior to get out of the container. So, Henkel's? No, not Henkel's. I'll remember it later. I just know it. Not Wusthof either. Dexter's. Thank you, Tiger. He prefers those over these ones. Professional butcher's knives. Look at you, all fancy, Ed. And we also got 2 Christmas ornaments. One from Belt Loop. Oops. Just knocked him off. Oh God, almost knocked the tree off too. Hey, let's just throw Quackers McPeels off the table too. We also got Devil Dog. Hoorah, Devil Dog. Devil Dog and Belt Loop. It's funny because I created the doggy dog. What? Up? Okay. There we go. And it says, "Sup, members. Thanks for your support. Merry Christmas." And then on the back of Eddie's, it says, "Thank you for being a member and not an Eddie hole. Merry Christmas." So put them back on the tree. Should probably put them up front. Yes, this is our tree. There we go. All right, let's go take a gander. You don't want to stir this too vigorously, but we want to give it a stir, because if you do this a little too fast, what's going to happen is that the sugar is going to want to recrystallize, and it's going to cause it to be very grainy. We want it to still be smooth, and we've got some coloration happening here, which is fine. Now, thermometer. We're going to just give it a temp. We're at 228, 229, 233. Yep, we're there. 234. A little too high. Okay. We're going to get a metal trivet. The reason being is because we don't want to get the table hot. All right, we don't need this anymore. We'll just stick that right there. Now, we're going to take the 7 ounces of marshmallow cream. We're going to just start feeding it into this. And I like to do mine in stages, just simply because it makes it much easier to deal with. So let's get that going. Get the heat to help take that down off of there. So now, always start at a lower speed, working your way up. But right now, because it's not very thick, you don't have to go very fast at all. Okay. We want to get this so that, the color is all uniform and not a little on the marbled side. We're going to just let it do its thing for a few moments more. You want to be very careful not to get this on your skin, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a severe burn. You can easily get second and third degree burns from sugar. Okay, just going to let that sit right there. I love this hand mixer. This hand mixer is great. It also has a little cup to hold all the other tools. Okay, so next we're gonna get our peanut butter, and it doesn't really matter what brand of peanut butter you get. Just don't use the old-fashioned. All right. So we're gonna need 1 cup and 2/3. So 1 cup. And you want to make sure that you get this, hello, you want to make sure that you get this nice and even. So press out or press down, give it a swirly swirl, make sure that it's just sitting in there nice and packed. Okay. I'm just going to keep adding more peanut butter to it. And there we have it. Scrapey scrape. That's 1 cup. Right there, just like so. Scrapey scrape. And also another thing, wear some shoes. If you're going to be making this, because in the event that you should knock your pot over onto the floor, you don't want to be barefoot. Nothing quite says your day is screwed until you've gotten 2nd and 3rd degree burns on the tops of your feet. Especially if you're diabetic. All right, so that's 1 cup right there. All right, set that there. And we're going to go for the 2nd cup. And exactish measurements are kind of needed for this, because if you don't have enough peanut butter, you're going to be going to the store. So it's best to measure out your ingredients first, just to make sure, especially if you only have half of a jar, so that you know for certain that you don't have to rush off to the store, because when you get this all nice and hot, you have a very small window of opportunity to get everything combined. So measure your stuff out. See how I saved that? Ha. Okay. Next. I'm sorry, 1 2/3. I just put too much in here. That's okay. I think I just screwed myself. It's Latoria's fault. Blame Latoria. This is karma for making fun of her eggnog. I just know it. This is why I need to get new glasses. Can't read what I'm supposed to be looking at. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. I know, right? Oh, there she is. Look at that. She just showed up. Funny. Funny how that works. Alrighty. So be very careful with the pan. Pan's going to be very hot, okay? Now, if you want, you could take some chocolate chips and you could drop it in there if you want, and kind of marble it around a little bit. Make a mess. Ouch. All right, let's get that out of the way. All right. Now, gloves. To help protect your skin, it's always nice to have gloves. But also, you know what else? If you have OCD, it's nice to have gloves. Pressy, pressy, press. Oh, hot, 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 hot. Hotty hot. Woo! Mercy me. Did he just woo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So our little pterodactyl, the one who hates me, just made a woo noise. I've never heard him do that before. Have you?
No.
Yeah, it's one of the things about African greys. They decide when they're going to mimic noises or repeat words that you say. You could try to teach them, I'm a pretty bird, for a year, and they'll never do it, right? So man, you say a few cuss words in front of them, they pick it up just like that. It's like, okay, so who said that in front of the birds? You know, who the hell did that? You know, of course, everybody's like, not me. I didn't do that. I'm not that stupid. I wouldn't do that. Sure. All right, let's get rid of the garbage. So, Fudge. There's Fudge. Now that needs to fully cool. That's going to take forever. But that's okay. Oops. Ding. Oh my god, I got it all over my fingers. This sucks, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Fudge! As if by magic. Alright, let's move on to the next thing. So let's just set that aside over here. Now, let's get our stuff cut up first. So, first, we're going to cut our French fries. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now these ends are still good for French fries, but save them aside, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. Now this one's got like some flaws to it, so we're just going to set that, or trim that off. And now we're going to just go in and cut those just like so. Make sure they're about as uniform as they're going to get. Okay. Now, the reason why I say this is because this is an uneven surface and it's rounded off. You have a more likely chance of cutting your finger off or getting bit by your knife if you cut it skin side up. So flip it the other way. Curl your fingers like a claw. Just like that. See that right there? Let the knife rest there. Just like that. And then set that there. Just like so. Now, when you've made a flat surface on the bottom of your potato, it's going to be so much easier. That way it's not rolling around all over the damn table. Slice them uniformly. Set the end pieces aside. Well, there went Gary. Gary went flying off the tree. All right, there's that. Just like so. Now we're going to come back over here and take that boo-boo off there. What? Told the lady he would not marry her because she was expired?
No. It's going to pop up in just a second.
Done searching for the insult. Oh, boy. All right. Come on. Lay it on me. I'm sure I'm going to be in the naughty box. We'll find out in the morning, I guess. Hey, Elfish. Welcome. Love you, Latoria. Love you long time. So, man, I'm telling you that was some serious Gordon Ramsay stuff right there with that. I was about ready to I was like, no, you gotta, because when I'm driving, there's only so much I can actually say because it's like I have to hit the little microphone button for speech to text, you know. All right, let's get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. All right, now we're going to just set that aside for the moment. Now, what we need is this little bowl right here. And a little bit of red onion. Cut the top off, cut the bottom off, cut it in half, set that piece aside. We're not going to need that. Set that over there in my garbage pile. I'm getting their Tiger in 33 days. What? Old and grumpy, expiration date overdue. Yeah, mine's past due too. Now, what we're going to do is slice this up into very, very thin julienne, almost as though you were actually doing a julienne. Because you don't want a huge mouthful of onion. You want the onion to be there and be present, but you don't want it to be so overpowering that you're like, oh God, why is this so oniony? So I'm not going to make a whole big batch because we only have enough fish and chips for one meal. So now we got that. And then we got fresh baby dill. That much right there. And easiest way to do this is just snippy snip it. Pull it. Some of the stem is just a little too woody, so you don't want to add all of it, but the more tender parts of the stem is perfectly all right. Okay. So for the amount that we're making, that's about right. This is like maybe a tablespoon. So just give it a good little rough chop. Now, if you don't like dill, you don't have to put it in there. If you don't have fresh dill, but you have some dried dill, you can use that too. Just use a little bit less because it is a little bit more overpowering now. Tarragon is an acquired taste. If you don't like the taste of anything that's even remotely like licorice, don't put it in there. It's your fish and chips after all, right? I'm just showing you how we do it here in the Mitchell household. So yeah, you know what else works, Tiger? If you light a candle and set it right next to your board. Also, taking a wad of white bread, stuffing it in your mouth, and then pressing it to the roof of your mouth, and holding it there with your tongue. Wouldn't it be funny if your pterodactyl said, "Don't be an Eddie hole"? That would be freaking hilarious. I would be laughing my ass off. Hey, Bo, say Eddie hole. I don't think he's going to say it. Okay, so there we go. Not a lot, but enough. And then what do you do with the rest of that? Hello? Hey there, Stephen and Jacqueline. Or Stephen, welcome. Not sure if Jacqueline's there with you, but hello, Stephen, and say hello to Jacqueline. And let's see here. We've got this all set up and ready to go. We are going to take a little bit of our capers. Now keep in mind, capers are very briny. So if you're looking at, cutting back on your sodium intake, you could always deep fry these first. Or just omit them completely. It's entirely up to you. And then we're going to want some sweet relish. Now, if you have a preference to dill relish, that's fine too. So I'm going to put a smidgen of that in there. Like three teaspoons. You can always add, but you can't subtract. And then that, and then we need, where is it? There it is. The crappy Worcestershire that I've been trying to get through. Usually a Perrins. About 10 drops of Worcestershire and a smidgen of Old Bay. Like a quarter of a teaspoon. or a good few pinches. Now, one of the things that we did get in the mail is from Al Lunacy Queuing is hot sauces and marinades. Sweet and spicy Polynesian Hawaiian barbecue sauce, sriracha, Thai sweet chili sauce, which I've had before. I've had that brand. Ghost pepper. No, we're not putting that in there. Japanese barbecue sauce. Okay, so none of those are going to work in this. But they'll work in other things. We're going to use Crystal hot sauce. Now, if you like spicy, use those ones. They're Melinda's brand. You know, you can actually find those at our local Walmart. They're pretty darn good. Okay, so set that aside for the moment. Thank you. This is a 126-year-old kitchen. It has seen better days. Hoping one of these days I'll be able to do a renovation. All right, mayonnaise. Now, everybody has their own preference to mayonnaise. Duke's, Blue Plate, Best Foods. Don't say I'm not saying Miracle Whip. That's blasphemy. All right, so now we're just gonna mixy mix that together. Now we got. You can also put some Creole seasoning in here too, if you want, depending on how you prefer. But this is what it should look like, because it should have a nice little bit of body to it, but a lot of flavor. Anthony hates what? Oh my, oh my, oh my. That is delicious. All right. Now we're pretty much done with all of that. Now we got to get our fish. And what we have here is cod. We should probably make the batter first before we start contaminating everything. So, powder, beer, cornstarch, Old Bay. All right. I like beans in my chili too. So what we're using is Fremont Lush India Pale Ale. Get another bowl. And this is Bob's Red Mill all-purpose baking flour. And you're going to, whenever you're dealing with all-purpose gluten-free baking flours, always look at the ingredients. And the reason being is because there could be xanthan gum in it. Choose one when you're doing fish and chips. Choose one without the xanthan gum. That is a binder. You don't really want that. So you're going to take equal parts gluten-free flour. This is 1.5 cups right there. 2 pure cornstarch. And again, this is not a completely gluten-free recipe in that we got beer in it. So if you're looking for something that is completely gluten-free, you can use a gluten-free beer. Or you can use club soda or tonic water. All right, so equal parts. Cornstarch to gluten-free flour. Okay, I gotta find my lid. There's my lid. And I'm covered in this stuff. All right. You also want to give it some flavor. Give it some love, okay? Got some up my nose. This is not good. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Okay. There we go. Gluten-free product. Clabber Girl is gluten-free. But so if you go out and buy some other brand, double check. Gluten-free product. Okay? Now, if you are gluten-free, don't put the beer in it. Put gluten-free beer or club soda. Less is more, or else you're going to end up adding more dry. Okay? And I like to use my hands to mix it. That way I can feel for the texture. Okay. This is going to be very, very, very dry right here. So we're going to add a little bit more. And just keep going. And if you refrigerate your batter, if you're going to eat fish, a couple times, you can actually reserve your batter for up to 2 days, even after it's been touching fish. So just so you know, just put it in the refrigerator. Okay. Yes. Best Foods mayo is West Coast. Okay, so got a little too overzealous with the beer because that's too watery. FML. Should follow my own advice, you know that? It's okay. And I'm just going to put a little smidge more of that in there. What?
Nothing.
What? What kind of beer? Add more dry. Right. Add more dry. What kind of beer? It is Fremont, and it is India Pale Ale. This is a local beer. Depending on your location, just pick your favorite beer or just use frickin' Budweiser or Coors or whatever. It don't really matter. Mac and Jack's works good if you like it to be more malty. I like the lighter beers. Blue Moon's a good one to use. Okay. Let's see if I can reach this. All over the place. Okay. I don't know about that. I'm having a moment, man. All right. Smidge of cornstarch. Mixy mix. Get the lumps as best as you can because you don't want lumpy. All right. So it's starting to pull together. I can feel it. Because I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Been a lot on my mind lately. Last 2 weeks have been pretty rough with the weather. We didn't have power for 2 days. Our house is finally caught up. Huh?
3 days.
Has it been 3 days?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 3 days of no power. Yeah, when you live out in the middle of nowhere, when you have no power, that also means no internet. I think I was getting a little snipey. That, and I couldn't make any coffee. I'm just going to add the rest of that in there. Oh, for crying out loud, no. Oh, my God. So now I sent my boss a message about 9 hours ago. He's just now replying to me. Is this for Christmas brunch? Yes, it is for Christmas brunch. Because you didn't want to go with the turkey. So in case he's watching, yeah, it is for Christmas brunch. And yeah, I already got it handled. Now watch, 5 minutes, he's going to call me. Anyway, there we have that. All right, so what we're looking for is when the stream starts to bounce, it should bounce back and snap. Just like so. All right. Get rid of that. All right, that's smelling pretty good. Set that aside for the moment. Let it bloom. Get this out of the way. What are you giggling about over there? Why am I using my hand? Because I like the feel of my batter. Because that's how I gauge the level of doneness. I've always done it that way. Lets me be more in touch with my food. Yeah, no, not really, Em. I mean, you could try it. I mean, for me personally, if I were going to do that, I would add some pork rinds, crushed pork rinds into it, and a little bit more baking powder. Oh my God, just shut up, boss. Freaking A, man. Leave me alone. I'm not on the clock. You can't bother me. Hi, like Winder Singh. All right. Now, for the cod. It didn't have halibut. I wanted halibut really bad, but I didn't see any halibut. This is going to be wet. Yep, wet. But we got nice fillet there. There's just some parts of it that's just going to absolutely suck because it's going to be thin. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Damn thing was machine cut. All right, let's see here. Well, you know, you go to the grocery store, you pay full price for something, and you pay a premium. You would expect it to be fabricated properly and not this half-assed. Where's my boning tweezers? Where's my boning tweezers? Hello, boning tweezers. I guess I'm gonna have to just use those. I'm just stuck with those. So, come on. All right, so we're going to trim this belly piece off because this is going to be really tough and not so fun. You can always save that for like soups. I don't like the tail either. Save it for soups, but I'm not going to be home all week, so that's just going to go there. You know, just got to figure out. How far down did all these bones go? So we're going to lose a little chunk of this right there. That sucks, man. All right. Reminder to self, don't go to Kroger anymore. Just follow that line. Just chop that completely off right there. Oh, fun. There's a worm. So one of the bad things about cod is that they have parasites. And that's a parasite. That's a worm right there. But it's okay because, you know, these things are supposed to be flash frozen, flash pasteurized. So Anyway, what I like to do is I like to cut my fish like that into tender pieces, holding the knife at an angle and just cutting them to the same thickness so that they always cook evenly and uniformly. There's another one right there. Cod is notorious for parasites. There we go. There's another one right there. Before you say, ew, gross, even, huh?
Too late.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing, though, is no matter where the fish has come from, it could be your boxed, frozen, already pre-battered cod that you would get at the grocery store. It's going to have parasites in it. That's just the way it is. It's just going to have parasites. So I guess if you don't know, it's not going to hurt you, right? Let me get rid of my garbage here. I definitely don't want the dogs to get hold of that, just in case it decides to reanimate itself and you end up with tapeworm. So, okay. Now we've got that all taken care of. I should probably have taken that with me, along with my saucing spoon that I dropped on the floor. Dump that over there. Okay. All right. Let's just set that over here. Now, this is a Waring Pro deep fryer. It's got a safety mechanism. So if you get your foot caught in the cable, which is impossible because it's only a 3-foot cord, it will unplug itself because it's magnetic. Less likely for you to topple it over on top of yourself. Where's the end of the cord? There it is. Okay. Get that out of the way. Plug this in. Now watch, I'm going to kill all the power in the house. Oh, see? Just drop the cord. You know what? I'm going to just wrap this around. There we go. Go. And always start with clean fryer oil. Yep. We're going to just pour the oil right on in there. Save your bottle out, okay? Because you're not going to want to reuse it for anything other than fish. If you're going to cook off fish for a couple days, then it's another thing. Now, where's the other bottle?
There's another bottle under the blender.
Under the blender? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep, there it is. All right. You don't really need a lot of oil. Now, if you don't have a deep fryer, you can definitely do this on your stove. So we're going to set the temperature. Okay. And now we wait. Now, thankfully, with this amount of oil, it's not going to take very long at all. Yeah, but the thing with the parasites is that it's going to happen. It will always have they will always have parasites in them. Cod, salmon, halibut, whichever. It doesn't matter which one it is, they're going to have parasites. And flash pasteurization generally kills them off, but not always. So you always want to make sure that your fish is fully cooked to temperature, okay? So Always cook your fish thoroughly. Don't eat raw unless it's sashimi grade, which is pasteurized even further. And yes, it is a good topic for a podcast. You should seriously think about doing that because not everybody knows that your fish is going to be full of parasites. Not full of them, but you're going to find one or two, maybe three in a whole fillet of cod, or whatever it is that you're getting. Hello, Teresa. Yes, but also another fish that can have massive tumors are flounder and sole. They can have massive tumors as well. And those are easy to see because if you flip a flounder upside down, you can see the actual tumor on their belly. Catch and release. You going outside with the dogs?
Yes.
All right, have fun.
Come on, girls.
Now, the thing with this is the potatoes are going to have to cook first. So what I like to do is I like to get my cast iron pan preheated. Just preheat it to 275 degrees. And usually what you do is you can definitely par cook these by just parboiling them and then draining them out completely and then put them on a flat sheet pan and then stick it in the freezer for a bit. That's how you're going to get the best French fries. Just to par cook them for a few minutes first. You can also par cook them in the fryer at a lower temperature, like 300 degrees, for a few minutes until they're softened. Drain it out thoroughly, put them on a sheet pan, let them cool, and then when you're ready to fry your French fries, then you just bring the temperature back up to on your fryer to 350, and then let them ride. Fish is friendly food. I love fish. And Elfish will tell you, fish have parasites. Just happens, Nothing that can really be done about that. I mean, that's why a lot of people won't eat fish because they're so dirty, they're filthy. They're really not. Yeah, like a double fry. Yep. Hey, sleeper. Lance. But I like fish. I like fish a lot. And so I'm not too horribly worried about parasites. Because, as long as it's cooked thoroughly, you're fine. Some fish are just naturally resistant to that sort of thing. All right. So now move these over to this bowl. Get rid of these because I've touched fish along with that. So I'm going to just take this over to the sink. Sorry. All right. See, I've never been all that fond of catfish. Just never been all. I don't know if it's because it's just too fatty, or not fatty, but oily. But then again, in general, I'm not really all that fond of freshwater fish, like trout. There's just too many damn bones to have to navigate through. Hey, bushcraft, what's up? So we're just watching paint dry. You see, I fried catfish, like fried catfish nuggets, um, or fried catfish nuggets in a in a po' boy are pretty good. I like those, but just plain, not breaded and deep fried, I just can't do it. You only eat yellow pike, fried in butter. Yeah, I like I like fried foods. They don't like me too much, so I try to stay away from it as much as humanly possible. Partly the reason why I had to switch to gluten free for this one, because I've been stress eating a lot lately, and um, I'm incredibly sensitive to gluten, so I've been having a lot of problems. In a skillet, I almost thought you said there for a moment shallot, and I'm like, oh, shallots, sounds good. I love shallots. Blackened catfish. That sounds good. Hello, Big Matt. Welcome back. And yeah, we're gonna also make some coleslaw too to go with this. We're just gonna make just the basic bitch coleslaw though. We're at 218 degrees. We're getting pretty close. But what? Yeah, stress eating. Stress eating is a thing. It's like, I've been under a great deal of stress lately, and can't believe this. I go, So I told my boss, thankfully, Cisco called me. My order for salmon was canceled. We have to go with portioned salmon. Is this for Christmas brunch? Yes. God. I'll answer him. But now he's going to text the hell out of me. Just know it. Fun to catch Lance. But I'd rather eat walleye. You see, we don't have walleye here, I don't think. At least not on this side of the mountains. Maybe over in eastern Washington. 235. This is going to take a little while. Let's check our peanut butter fudge. So it's still very warm, but very hot on the bottom, but it feels good. I think once it fully cools, it's going to be amazing. So that's what it looks like. It is hot on the bottom still. So we're just going to let it do its thing and ignore it for a while. I think the Twizzlers kind of sealed the fate. How do you mean? Damn Twizzlers. Finally threw out the rest of those Twizzlers that was sitting there in the tequila. Timmy's like, gotta dump that out, I'm like, yeah, probably, but it was tequila, even though it was crappy tequila. But I'm not really much of a tequila person. Tequila gets me in trouble. So 167 northbound finally reopened yesterday, thank God. It had been closed for 2 weeks because of water over the highway. And as I was driving to cash and carry yesterday afternoon to take some stuff up to work that we ran out of, the water was starting to recede over at the Carpenito farms, and one of those farms is their pumpkin patch. And it's really funny because the way that the pumpkins realigned themselves, they were all in almost a perfect line, And as I was driving back home, a couple miles down river from there, where the water really rose up pretty good and ended up over the roadway in that area, there are pumpkins floating in this little area right under the overpass. It was kind of cool. And I'm like, how the hell did those things get over here? That's 2 miles away. So hey, Panchuco, welcome. We're just waiting for this deep fryer to catch up. This is a Waring Pro. It's a pretty good deep fryer. It comes with a single basket or 2 baskets. It also has a nice lid as well. But you want to make sure that when you fill it up that you don't fill it past a certain line, or else, when you go to drop something in there, especially if there's a lot of wet involved, it can bubble over. Never throw anything like ice cubes into a deep fryer. Don't ever do that, because that's how you end up with a grease fire and burns and all that other happy hogwash. Yeah, they were all floating, Ace. It was just so funny. Not funny, but funny at the same time, I guess. So let's give these a drop now. They're at 293, but we can always par cook them and let them come up to temperature. Probably could have used a little bit more oil. I knew I should have bought another bottle of oil. I thought I had more oil. I guess I was wrong. But anyhow, now there's a way that you can filter your own oil by dumping a whole crap ton of cornstarch right into your fryer and let it help to pick up all the debris out of your oil. It's actually kind of cool. But with as cheap as oil is, just go buy new oil, okay? Don't do this at home. Who used the oil? I used up a bunch of oil when I was cooking stuff. Now, do y'all want to see some donuts? I was thinking about making some donuts, like brioche donuts. Yeah, peanut oil is very expensive. My boss is about ready to light my phone up here. I could see the little dots moving across. Can we connect tomorrow to see what we can do? I already ordered it. Oh my god. I had Cisco sub it out to portions. They have crappy salmon anyway. He's going to be like, why are we doing that? Because that's all I could get. I'm not going to drive all the way down to the Pike Place Market to go and get whole salmon. No, I didn't. No. I tried to order a whole salmon, but DSSI does not show me demand status. So I got shorted. Cisco called me to let me know that I'm being subbed out to something else. So I said, please just do portions. Anyway. Yeah, because it didn't show me demand status, so. We have to use a third party ordering system. Okay, so now our French fries are just gently doing their thing. Because anytime you drop something cold into the fryer, what's ultimately going to happen is that it's going to reduce the temperature of the oil. So this is a small fryer. This isn't like one of the 35-pound fryers that like I have at work. So just let it do its thing. Fish will take a lot less time. So we can just sit here and watch it bubble, toil and trouble.
Oh, that was fun.
What?
We had Christmas carolers.
Christmas carolers, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been cool. We had Christmas carolers.
I got a little video of it.
That would explain why Cindy was chirping. Yes, Cindy chirps. She doesn't bark like our other Tibetan spaniels have. She trills. So she's an alerting type of Tibetan spaniel, whereas the other one just barks obnoxiously, incessantly, constantly. 29 donuts is a bad thing? All right. Say hi to Jeff for me, Elfish. I keep meaning to stop by there. It's just, life has been really hectic with my job. So, not made it over there in a while. I'm sure my boss is probably going to be like, well, you could have gone and got a whole salmon. I'm like, yeah, where? Where from? Yeah, okay. You go all the way down to Pike Place Market and get a salmon for the low cost of $600. We're going to have a carving station, so if we just have the roast beef on the carving station, that's not that big of a deal. All right, don't play with the cord, Leroy. Coyote's got a couple in the freezer. Oh, salmons? Let's go over to Coyote's house and steal the salmon. Just break into the freezer. Timmy got a little short video of the carolers.
I don't know how good it would be if the dogs were going bananas.
Well, of course the dogs were going bananas. Because that's what dogs do. Alrighty. Alright, so our potatoes are breaking apart now. So now we're at 295 degrees. So they're just going to do their thing for just a little bit longer. All right. Put that on the spoon rest. So what's everybody doing for their Christmas? Do you celebrate Christmas? Still Hanukkah, right? Until Tuesday, right? Or Monday, right?
No.
Lost track of Hanukkah. I think it's like this.
Yeah, we're like in the last 2 days.
Last 2 days of Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. However way you celebrate it. Okay, so here's our batter. It's bloomed a little bit, so I'm going to get another whiskey whisk. And Timmy's like, God dang it. You had a whiskey whisk in there earlier. Why didn't you just save it aside? You could also beer batter your French fries too, but you want to make sure you do those while they're cold. So you would, par fry them, drain them out thoroughly, sheet pan them, put them in the freezer. Then you're going to toss them in some cornstarch to help the batter stick to them, and then you're just going to dip them in the batter and then give them a shaky shake and then just drop them in. They're not going to be completely beer battered, but they'll have some little flakes of batter on them. All right, so there we have that. Just give these a tossy toss. This is how you get your French fries to not have such a dark color. Is, let them par first. Just like so. We're just going to let it sit and wait for this to catch back up again. What? Why are you groaning at me? There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Whoops, all over the handle. I know. No depth perception, right? Yay. Yeehaw. All right. I love cooking as well. Yes, parboil them first before you coat them in batter. Now you can either parboil them or par cook them in the fryer. Either way is perfectly all right. It also helps to burn off the starch off the potato. As you can see, they're starting to cool off a little bit because they're starting to get a little wrinkly. Just drop them back in there and let them do their thing for a little while longer. Oh, I wish I could eat snow crab. I'm so allergic to crab. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to commit to the Christmas vlogmas. I thought about it, but I really don't have a lot of time on my hands, especially considering that we're going into a major holiday, and this is event season. I had to cook a taste of Tuscany for work, and we made ossobuco and cannolis and focaccia from scratch, and served it with a pesto bread dip. It's really creamy cream cheese and ricotta and pesto all mixed together, and you just basically just take your bread and just break little pieces off and dip it and eat it, along with some olive oil and some balsamic glaze. It was nice. It was quite nice. I guess they just went crazy over the cannolis. There was just a few pieces of bread left. Okay, so now we're getting a nice crust. We're starting to see some color on these potatoes, ever so slight, but color nonetheless. I don't know if you can see that, but we're starting to get a little lightly blonded. So, but they're going to be crispy. They should be nice and soft. Now, with the amount of varieties of potatoes there are out there, the best potato for French fries is Kennebecs. These are just russets because finding Kennebecs out in the middle of nowhere is next to impossible. They just have a much more fluffy, buttery texture for this sort of application. But you also have all these other potatoes like the reds and the Yukon Golds. Those are what's known as waxy potatoes. You want something that's got a high starch content to them. So it's going to be like the Kennebecs and the white that kind of looks like those ones are actually not as great. But if you had to go with something that was more waxy instead of starchy, that's kind of a in between. But these ones are starchy potatoes, russets, the larger potatoes like that. We don't actually see all the different varieties in stores. We only see maybe at best maybe 6 or 7 different varieties of potato. Sometimes you have to order them special if you need Kennebecs, or if you have a friend that is in the restaurant business and can order some through one of their food service providers, or even your local produce stand might be able to actually special order them for you. Get the Kennebecs, and that's spelled with a K. Kennebec. There's no K, just a C. Kennebec. Those are always the best to use. All right. Where to buy pre-cooked racks of ribs for your barbecue? Just kidding, Ed. They look great, bud. Oh, Damoose, you probably had him rolling like crazy. He's like, those weren't pre-cooked. I could just hear him now in his voice. The hell they are, Damoose. You can hear him saying that. Just that way too. In his voice. All right. So we're gonna take the fattest, thickest one. Gonna get the fatty out of here. Let's dig around. We're just gonna see where the texture is. Okay. Let's see here. That looks like a fatty right there. Okay, so here's the fatty. We're gonna take a gander at it. Oh, would you like to see what it looks like when you beer batter one? So now, ow, ow, ow. I'm gonna just break it in half. And as you can see right there in the camera, hopefully. Are we lined up in the camera? It looks nice and fluffy inside, and it's got a nice texture because I did not rinse my potatoes out. And so they were allowed to keep their own starch. So they started to create their own little crust there. But they're nice and fluffy on the inside. And those are done. Whoa, hello dog. I was really hoping, putting a shower curtain up there would keep her from going and dining on the cat litter box.
Like you needed to announce that.
Oh, I know. I have no filter. I'm sorry, Timmy. Our dog, or my puppy.
Let it go. Fucking idiot.
I know, right? Kitty Roca.
It's not funny.
Cindy thinks it is.
Food.
I know. All right. No, you said something else. You probably dropped a couple of F-bombs in there. I didn't do that. Where he's like, wait a minute, let me back up a little bit. I missed something. And 10 minutes later, all right, the hell. Okay, so now we're going to get our pan. We're going to keep our potatoes nice and warm so they don't go limpy and soggy. Watch out, puppy. Go, puppy. Go that way, puppy. Go. Go to daddy.
Come here.
All right. So let's lift these up. They have a light golden color to them. Wait for it to drain. Give it a shaky shake. Okay, there we go. Just like so. I'm going to bring the cast iron over here. Just drop them right in there. And now we can just let them sit on the back of the stove. We're going to give it some salt. You know what I want? What I really, really want is some of Jim Baldridge's secret seasoning. We're going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Now you can also put other things on there. It just depends on how you like your potatoes. You can give it a little bit of Parmesan if you want. Some dried herbs like maybe some parsley. If you dehydrate your own herbs, makes a great seasoning salt for French fries. There we go. Lay them out in a nice. Try to lay them out as best as you can. Okay, now come over here. We're going to drop our basket right in there. And our temperature is going up quickly. So we're going to drop 4 pieces of fish. There's 4 for Timmy and 4 for me. And they're not huge pieces of fish by any stretch of the imagination. So, all right. Now, we're going to let them drain off a little bit, just like so. Okay. Too much batter on them will cause them to stick to your basket. So you're going to just hold it gently. Make sure you know where your hand is going. Just drag it around. Take it for a little walk before dropping it in so that it does not touch the bottom of the basket. and stick. So give it a shaky shake. Go on to the next one. Okay. Let it drain a little bit off. Put it down and just take it for a little walk. And then just gently just drop it right on in there. Wait for about 5 seconds. Give it a tappy tap. Go on to your next piece. And no, this batter does not work very well in air fryers. You want to par fry them somewhat until it's dried out and it's formed a little bit of a crust, and then go for it. So now we got our other fishies in here. Another 4 pieces. Take those off for the moment. Shake a shake. And just make sure that they are not sticking. This one's stuck. This one was a little that one was a little fatty. There we go. Rotate it around. And what this is going to do is it's going to create a nice crust, but it's not going to be overly battered, where you're going to have to navigate like this really thick batter that's not quite fully cooked. When you're using the gluten-free flours, it tends to get very crispy. It's more like tempura. So when you're choosing the gluten-free flours, use ones that have the least amount of rice flour. Yeah, those poor worms. It should take about 4 minutes. The reason why I cut them at an angle is so that they're thin enough so that they do cook thoroughly while still looking like good quality or a good sized piece of fish. What is swimming in the batter? It is cod. Or are you talking about the little things? That's the little crispies that are coming off of the batter. These are just little chunks of batter. No, they're not worms. Don't worry. Don't have that many. The parasites that you would find in a cod are fairly easy to spot because they're kind of a blondish, light brown color. Ouch. I'm burning myself. All right. And there we have it. Now, while that's doing its thing, we're going to get a fresh, clean bowl. And we're going to make some coleslaw because Timmy absolutely loves coleslaw. And you can put other things in it if you want or not. Now, there was something that came from Al Lunacy that I actually use in my coleslaw, and that is the Thai sweet chili sauce, which doesn't have a lot of spice to it. This one's made by Melinda's. Do they call that cutting on the bias? Yes, that is a bias cut. Very good, Belt Loop. Very good. You get a point for that one. All right. Yep. Tastes a lot like maypoi, just not as sweet, not spicy. So that's our garbage bowl. I'm going to move this over here for a moment. Now that that's doing its thing. So I always put a little bit of sweet chili. Oh, this is going to take forever. There we go. It adds a lot of flavor. Now this one isn't as sweet as maypoi. And I like to put some freeze-dried chive in mine. And then we're going to hit it the rest of the way with mayonnaise. Going to do a splash of apple cider vinegar. And then we're going to need some powdered sugar which I forgot to take out of my pantry. Why is it that I can never find anything when I need it? Powdered sugar. Hello, powdered sugar. Don't look at my cabinet. Not seeing powdered sugar. Am I out? Oh my God. Timmy, can you hand me a... Do we have any 7-Up or ginger ale in the... Oh wait, I've got ginger ale right here. No, wait a minute. Yeah. Ginger ale right there. I'm going to put a little bit of ginger ale in there. Okay, so we got ginger ale. And our fish is nice and golden, as you can see. The camera is actually making it look a lot darker than it actually is. But at the same time, it will also continue to darken the longer it sits. Because carryover temperature. It does look... Oh, that's... What the hell? Okay. Plan B. All right. Mayploy. Apple cider vinegar. We're putting ginger ale in there for the sweet. Because I can't find my powdered sugar. You could also use pineapple juice, which is my preferred method, but I don't like buying pineapple juice because I have an oral allergy to pineapple. Okay. So there we have that. Okay, yes. We know that you are to temperature. Thank you very much. Shut off. Oh, shut up, you. All right. So now we got our coleslaw. We're just going to let it sit there and bloom for a little bit. Give it a tasty taste. Yes. That's delightful. All right. All right. There's our fishies. Carry them over. Just put them on top of the French fries. Going to drop our basket in. We're going to do the last remaining pieces, which is mine. So just drain it off, pinch it, drag it, and we're just going to drag it around. This is going to help to agitate some of the remnants that's going to flake off anyway. Just take it for a walk in the fryer oil. It also helps to have more fryer oil. Drop. Take a moment to give it a shaky shake. There we go. There we go. Just kind of, come on. There we go. Okay, there we go. There we have it. And again, you're going to do gluten-free, use club soda, or if you don't do alcohol, but you like to be able to have, you know, that flavor of a good fish and chip, club soda. Tonic water also works. Gluten-free beer, non-alcoholic gluten-free beer, whatever. It's your fish and chips after all. Ow, son of a bitch! Oh, man. Oh, that's going to burn bad. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. Suck it up, Buttercup. It's only a flesh wound. this. Can you just get some cold water on that for me? Ow. Ow. Oh man. Burnt my my poor mermaid's boobie. Burnt her tata. Which reminds me, years ago, I had to have a tumor removed from one of my breasts, and I was frying bacon. Ow. I was frying bacon in a tank top, and I caught bacon grease right across my chest like 2 days before. Oh, I'm going to cry, man. That hurts. Thank you. Oh, I just can't win for losing, man. Anyway, so the doctor was like, oh, MRSA, you're going to get MRSA. No, we have to wait till it's completely healed because MRSA. I mean, he was really into MRSA. So I had to wait until it scabbed over and healed up, which took approximately 5 weeks. So I was walking around with a tumor in my breast for 5 weeks, knowing that it's there and that I needed to have surgery. So be careful. You know, if you're deep frying something, put a layer of protection on. Something that's easy to get out of and loose fitting, preferably. I know, right, Tiffany? Miss Tiffany. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm assuming you're the same Miss Tiffany from Darren's channel, right? Anyway. Yeah, I'm okay. It just hurts. It's just a flesh wound. I've had far worse. All right. So we're just going to let that do its thing. And again, you can save your batter overnight, up to 2 days. Wow. Oh, no. She be peeling. Great. Okay. Alrighty, Ruru. So we're gonna get this party started. While we're waiting on mine to cook, at least I can get Timmy's plated up and ready to rock and roll. So he loves a lot of French fries. Oops, I just dropped a French fry on the floor. I just dropped a fish on the floor. All right, let's get that going. Just like so, just like so, just like so. And there we go. Looks pretty darn sexy. And then mine just needs another minute. Get him some coleslaw right on the plate. Ow. That really hurt. And some of this. Now, if you have pets in your house that likes to get up on the counter, please do them a favor as well as do yourself a favor. If you're looking to buy yourself a deep fryer, make sure you have one that has a lid, also with safety. This just pulled away just very, very easily, just like so, because it's magnetic. Even if I got my foot tangled in it, it's not going to pull the whole thing down on the floor. Now, pets, They love to play with things, especially cats, because they're little dicks, okay? So you always want to make sure that you cat-proof some of your kitchen electrics. And the way in doing so is getting something that actually has a well-fitting lid to it so that you can move it away from the edge of the counter, someplace where your pet can't get to it. That fits on there pretty good. It doesn't really move very easily, but at the same time, I could pick it up, move that out of the way. I mean, I don't care if they dump batter all over themselves. Move that out of the way. Now this has two handles. I can just move it over here to the stove and just let it sit there. And voila, now we have a nice clean space to work with. We've got our coleslaw. We've got our tartar sauce. And I got to get my food. And you'll have to catch the shorts at another time to take a look at the fudge because it's still in need of cooling. I'm not horribly craving potatoes today, but I'm going to give myself a little plate of them. So I get the smaller nuggets. I'm going to actually give him the 5th piece because that's a small piece. Because he's a growing boy and he needs this protein. As you get older, your protein needs change. You actually need more protein than you would if you were younger. Are you playing with the wheel?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Munchie Mafia. There we have it. We have fish and chips. Now it looks nice and beautiful and delightful. This is a big plate, 4.5 pieces. Can we go to the upstairs camera?
Yep.
Just pretend I'm using a plate spinner. I forgot to plug it in again. So there we have it. Nice and beautiful and golden. I'm going to actually break open a piece of mine so you can see how nice and moist that looks. Look at that. It just glistens. And it's very hot. It's very, very hot. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. So, Munchie Mafia, there we have it. And let's take a look at our fudge. It's starting to cool a little bit better, but it's still pretty warm on the underside. The belly side feels pretty warm. I can put my hand there. It's comfortable, but we have to have it fully cooled down. So there's our peanut butter fudge. So, Munchie Mafia, there's that. And we're going to spin for the next round of Show Up for Shout Out.
I'm working on it.
Timmy's still working on it. So let's give the fish a try. Oh my God. They're so good. They're very hot. So after the holiday is over and done with, we're going to take a little bit of a break, another extra week break from the Wheel of Misfortune, and then come back to it just shortly thereafter. Because yeah, as you know, holidays are very, very stressful, and just stuff that goes on with that, especially when you're cooking for 95 people with 25 plus of their family members.
Quit eating.
I give this a solid 10. So we'll go back to Wheel of Misfortune, just after the new year. So are we ready to go?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Timmy's going to pull up the wheel, and we're
There's
going
the wheel.
to make sure that your names are all on the wheel. We got Brandon. That's Brandon of Palm Beach, Brandon?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't see Brandon come in. Hi, Brandon. If you're still around, if you're driving, don't respond, okay? Elfish, Stephen and Jacqueline, Emily, and Buglet, right? Like Winder Singh, Bushcrafter, Panchuco, Miss Tiffany, Dez, Matt, Demoose, Desert Livin', Ace, Canadian Family Life, Chillin' with David Bennett, Belt Loop, Tuber Chat, Yes I Can Barbecue, Beverly Moffett, Bulldogs, Whistle Stop, Homestead, Greg, Katie, Eastwind, Mishy, Sleeper Barbecue, Chef Roast and Gag. Now you all have your names up there. You see your names up there. I'm going to give it a moment. You don't see Tiger.
Tiger doesn't have a channel.
Tiger does have a channel, but he doesn't have any content on it.
All right. I'll add him.
You know, just add him. Oh my God.
All right. There's Tiger.
All right. All right, Tiger, you're on there now. Effing not rigged. All right.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. Let's go
One
for it.
spin, winner takes all.
One spin, and the winner takes all. Brandon of Palm Beach. Congratulations. You are the show up for shout out for next week. So, everybody go check out Brandon of Palm Beach. And check out everybody else too. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday. I'm sure that I'm going to see many of you along the YouTube streets at some point between now and then. I hope you all have a happy Christmas, or however way you celebrate it or don't celebrate it. Have a great day, in other words, if you don't celebrate Christmas. And don't forget to don't drink and drive, and cook with love and eat with passion. Thank you all so much for coming. Happy holidays. Have a good night.
Mafia, it is that time. We really hate saying goodbye. So let's just say a fun good night, or even a sad little toodaloo. Perhaps even until next time. Maybe even a tell for now. We'll be here because Bucci needs love too. It's been really fun with all our friends, no matter if you're old or you're new. So before you let that door slam behind you, fondle that like button lovingly, then go back to your life as it were before you hit that play button on YouTube. If you haven't yet, subscribe to Munchie Mafia Official. Now is that time? What's stopping you since you're still here on YouTube? Please visit Nina Bulldogs, and they're delightful friendships. She has informative discussion panels that unlock the elusive mysteries of YouTube analytics and other things, including great panoramas, the perhaps even until next time. Maybe even a ta-ta for now. We'll be here or on off-topic squirrel, because Bucci needs love too.